Morning to one and all. This is Bharat Mo from 19MIS1057. I'm going to say about the MS project overview, which is mainly an software development project, mainly prepared for project developing course. It is an Microsoft project and empowers a collaboration and management of projects, including the sharing, chat, meeting, and more. Mainly, mainly its objectives are project management basics. The main basics of the project, it is managed by this Microsoft project. And get started with the Microsoft project, creating a project mainly on tasks and resources and final reports and reviews and overall review of the report with this interactive structures. And its project life cycles are mainly on 4 phases: initiation, planning, execution, closure. Mainly the initiation is maintained by the users initial values given and they receive from the measures of the projects. The planning is mainly maintained by the project overview expect, which is mainly planning on what are the requirements of the problems or the estimated outcomes of the resources, and they calculate the easiest form of the ways. The execution part mainly uh, executed by the project experts and the job owners, which is an execution on mainly the initial part and the estimated outcome maintained by the users. And it's come to the closure, and which is an output of the resource where the users can end their overviews. The project management is an mainly an knowledge and skills, tools and techniques on project activities in order to meet or execute stakeholders' needs and expectations from a defined project, balancing the following. It mainly stay on track effectively on scope, time, cost, and qualities. It mainly concentrate on stakeholders' expectations where the closures outcome make useful for them. And the requirements maintained by the user are undefined in specially needed on some of the Excel sheets of the projects. And it projects mainly on monitoring and controlling, which is mainly an initial part of the projects where they are giving. It is monitored by an job owners, and it is planned by them by an overview of the users, and it is executed by the experts, and it is also overviewed by the job experts, and it is expected to give an closing outcomes by an job overviewed managers. And the project life cycles are mainly an graph, which is an initially maintained by the users on the top of the graph level, and the planning is maintained by an dotted lines, which is an undergraph of the initial values, and the execution part is mainly an parabolic, which is an started by an user and makes an execution at the initial level, and it is given to the closure in an ended part. And the closing part is mainly an underground parabolic, which is also maintained by an users and the job experts. They will close on what are the values and then what are the given project inputs in an overview, so they can overcome through an underground parabolic wave, and the monitoration is mainly an dotted lines, which is also maintained by the job experts. The project manager mainly is a professional held, can have the responsibility of the planning, execution, and closing of the project on any users within the time. And mainly the MS projects is project management software program. It mainly tracks progress on budgets and analyze workloads in their project experts. The project Microsoft projects is an successful projects for every users. They can understand the management of every incomes and every outcomes. They can assist the project manager in becoming more effective. It is mainly an Excel sheet of any Microsoft software. It is maintained by a Microsoft, and it can develop any project application in a blank project. We can add tasks and the task mode and the task name, durations, and the start and end finish of time by its measuring the values of a project income. And it is also maintained by an Gantt chart. So its timeline is calculated. Within the timeline, we need to complete the start and finish of the project. Then scheduled project from start or finish can also be maintained by project information. Within that, we can maintain project information mainly and start and daytime we are going to give, where scheduled projects are maintained, and we can open any file from that, so that the calendar we can change by setting working days on changing work time. So we can change the Gantt tag durations and task names. The, the Gantt tag chat can make a task by becoming an overview, so that it can maintain a graph level of any outcomes of the levels, so that by measuring also we can calculate the expected outcomes and graph overview. Working with task lists is mainly an project preparation on 19 days mainly. The first project of any task they are giving can be expected to 1 day. The next durations of the project chapters are 5 days, and the organic structures of some of the project overviews can be maintained by 3 days, and the CAF analysis is maintained by 3 days, and the predecessors realizations on outcomes is mainly expected to calculate on 40 days of this project. The project team status meeting is mainly overcome on 10 days, so that the project managers and the expected stakeholders may take an advantage of this project, so that they can overview anytime by what are the users can analyze in this project. The task informations are mainly business blueprint integration workshop. Mainly it is held on 4 days of any this project. By the overview of 32 days of any project, the blueprint workshop will be conducted, so that the remaining work on what are the work we are done we can show in that workshops, so that the task information is mainly on this project can maintain a percentage in then scheduled mode, so that the what are the percentages outcomes we are giving, that it can calculate accordingly, so that it maintain for job overview. The task informations are produced in phase to start level, so that the business blueprints they can cross over on any of this project. If they are not liked by them, or any the values expected by them are not in the correct level, so they can overview on that user, and they can change the timings and accordingly by the task informations. In an advanced mode, they have given the deadlines and constraint types, so that the producers can change the time and the durations of the level, so that the user can finish the project within the regular time given by them stakeholders. The task dependency is mainly dependent on phase to start level, and it cannot be deleted. By creating the task in Microsoft project, it calculates durations and relationship from the start date to the finish date. By double click on the task or milestone, we can relate to the start or finished. The producers can make changes from durations on task resources and given to the successors. The overlap of the producers can mainly on task and resources of this, so that the project can take so many tasks and resources by the producers in an expected outcome on workshops. The users can explain accordingly for what the values they have given, on which basis, on which criteria, and which critical parts on these values we have taken, or which the measures value we have took, like that they can overlap on producers. The resources can taken by the producers, so that the accordingly the project can be going on in successful way in this manner. The lag part mainly on the task and resources, it can be overviewed by the producers, so that the lagging can be cancelled by the user. The mainly the critical parts is one of the tasks which can see a delay to the project. It is in the longest part to the project network diagrams on the shortest possible time to complete this project. The critical part can be calculated by the time chat by tracking it in a format view. Their critical part tasks they can be calculated. The project statistics mainly on current and baselines actual variance, and it can complete then durations and the percentages of work they have done. Working with resource list, we can use the resource sheet to create a list of the people, equipments, and material resources they have given for then outcome. Thank you, sir.